All right, everybody. We need to put this issue to bed. Who's going to enforce the orders? All of our federal courts are coming out and saying to the Trump administration, dude, no, we are ordering you to do stuff. You need to do this stuff. Now, the question is, who's going to make Mr. Trump do this stuff? Everyone seems to be forgetting here. The only person with any kind of immunity argument or way of kind of twisting around the law in order to get out of this situation is Mr. Trump. He's one man. He's one man. That means nobody else is immune. And you could go to jail. I mean, it's a contemptible order if you are violating a court order. So you could get fined, you could get sanctioned, you could go to jail. Now, you may think, well, Mr. Trump's in charge of the DOJ. So what? The attorneys there have taken an oath to the Constitution, and none of them have immunity from being held in contempt of court. They could lose their law licenses, all of them. Now, you might say, well, what about the FBI? He's in charge of the FBI. No. Law enforcement takes an oath to the Constitution, not an oath to Mr. Trump. And if they decide, well, we'll just do what Mr. Trump says, even though his order is illegal, they go to jail. That's contemptible. And you might say, well, who's going to enforce it on them? Whoever is next in line. We keep going down the line because you're not going to be able to convince me there's not one person in law enforcement that upholds the Constitution more than an illegal order from one dude that's protected with immunity in certain situations. You're not going to be able to convince me that that's happening. U.S. Marshals, they're going to listen to Mr. Trump. Every single one of them is going to listen to an illegal order and not do their job. All of them. All of law enforcement, every single one in the entire United States. There is no one out there willing to put their own honor and knowledge and respect of the U.S. Constitution above Mr. Trump telling them to go do something when he's not going to go to jail. You're going to go to jail if you don't do it. So who's going to enforce it? Anyone who has honor, anyone who's taken an oath to the Constitution, and anyone who knows the difference between right and wrong. And at this point in time, although questionable, I truly believe there is someone out there who has enough honor and who loves this country enough to still enforce the Constitution rather than being a minion to Mr. Trump alone. Again, he is the only one protected. Elon Musk could go to jail, generals could go to jail, cops can go to jail, and I don't think they really want to go to jail. If you disobey a court order, you are violating the United States Constitution, and if you violate that, they're going to call you out on it because courts aren't like, oh, well, never mind about that order. Just forget it. Do whatever you want. Judges don't do that. They're like, dude, look, we made an order. You got to follow the order. If you don't follow the order, you're in contempt. And if you're in contempt and you come in here and you say to my face, well, somebody told me not to listen to your order, you're still going to jail. All right. So if someone gives you an illegal task to do and you do it, you're still going to be going to jail, man. So who's going to enforce it? I don't know his name or her name, but somebody will. Somebody will enforce it. Whomever decides not to take an illegal order from Mr. Trump and not enforce it. So whomever that person is who's willing to stand up for the Constitution and for the oath that they took, that's the person that's going to enforce it, everyone.